There you go. Good evening, everybody. A special evening edition of Let It Run podcast with myself, John, the traveling handicapper. In the green over there, the Irishman, Freddie Bro York, and our
Wow.
special guest from the South Tampa Bay area, Wadey Kala. What's going on, guys? Freddie, what's going on?
John, I'm very excited. Looking forward to. I mean, boy, a lot of information to pour through, and then great stats that we got from lots of different sources, which can be both a blessing and a curse. I think it's more of a blessing. I think you got to live and die by what you play with. I mean, I have my way of going through past performances. You have your way. Wadey has his way. Put them together, we come up with something, and I think it's a good thing.
Wadey, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Glad to be here. Thank you, guys. Always fun to be on the show.
Always glad to have you. Always bring that different opinion, and actually, we're pretty close a lot of the times, believe it or not. So
you two are always close.
So preparing.
And there's the outlier. I'm the outlier.
You're always working or golfing, or it's always something. I mean, we have the time
Should
to
be instead handicapper. I'm a traveling handicapper. I travel to work and back.
the local travel.
Anyway,
all right, we got a lot to cover tonight. Preparing for all this. Since last weekend, been looking at podcasts, breaking down videos, making up charts, and I showed everybody on the Wednesday. We looked at the brief overview of the 2-day wagers. The only way you can really keep that, make yourself some charts.
It's a great chart. That was a great chart.
You got to keep yourself with time of day, what races are covered. They're not like a pick 5 where it's 5 in a row. It's 5, 7, 9, 12, or it's 11 and 13. The next day it could be 8, 9, 10. So if you don't chart it out, look for your plays. And like I said yesterday, go through the whole card, pick your spots, and then when you're key horse, look what types of bets are involved with that key horse. You don't have to bet every pick 5. You could just find your key horse that might be in race 6. Now you can look at a pick 3 in 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. It might start a pick 5, might end a pick 5. Just find out that you like on your key days. So, all right. Did everybody black out? What happened there?
No, there was a little freeze for a little bit.
You lost you a little bit, John. You were going over about the significance of the race. Yeah.
All right, we're going to get into it. But before we do, we want to thank our sponsors, our local sponsors, been with us, Case's Pork Roll and the Vape Shop on Route 33. Thank you for your local continued support right from the beginning with those guys. They believed in this and supported us to get it started. And we recently tied on with Briz, let me put that up there, the Briznet.com, the handicapper's edge. Nothing like it for the prime power, early pace, late pace. And there's still time to get involved in the ultimate handicapping package, Oaks and Derby handicapping package. You could save yourself probably about $70 if you use all of the stuff there. And I know Fred could talk a little bit about it, but he dove into it, and there's a lot of great stuff in there.
Oh, man, there's serious good stuff.
So you got time to get that, $29.99, the ultimate package from Briznet.com. So thank you for them for your support. And now we will get into it. And I'll put our picks up there right now as we go through the races. Best thing to do is probably, freeze the video, take a snapshot picture. It's, tough to write it all down. Let me see. We got banners here. We're going to start. Is this the right one? Yep. Oaks pick 5. It starts in race 9. That's 5:12 p.m. after work for most people. So you don't have to take the day off to, play the races at Churchill.
I took the day off, John.
You did take, you have to. I mean,
I'm not working.
Gotta be
I'm
off.
not golfing. I'm not working. I'm not golfing.
All right. We're going to start it out with race number 9, the Ali Sheba, grade 2, 1 mile and a 16th on the dirt. Drew a field of 9, but there's 2 scratches. The 1 horse is going to the Pimlico Special, and the 9 is going to run in the grade 1 on Saturday. So now we're down to a field of 7. But basically what a 7 it is. I mean, it definitely one of the best Ali Shibas in a while. The comeback of Baeza, Grande, who's 4 for 5 lifetime, to Pan Street, who beat Sovereignty last year in the Florida races. East Avenue was that speedball that showed a lot of promise early on the career. Skippy Longstocking just renewed life the last 2 races. Corporate Power for Steve Asmussen, coming on. So can't wait to see how we break down this race. We'll start this race with Fred. What do you think of the Ali Shiba?
Well, I went a little deep just because I thought, obviously Skippy Longstocking is going to take a lot of well-deserved play on any ticket, on all tickets. I went deep. I went 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. My favorite horse is the 3. My two horses I really like. Baeza. Let's start with Baeza. First time in Bill Mott barn. Obviously, unfortunately, loss of John Sheriff's. God bless him, and God rest his soul. But Bill Mott didn't waste any time putting his number 1 jockey on that horse. No. Why would you not do that? First of all, and the strength of races that Baeza has been in far outweigh any of the other horses in this race. So I would say my 2 number 1 picks are Baeza and Grande. Johnny V getting on this horse again for the 2nd time, for the 4th time actually, but the 2nd time in a row. 3rd off a layoff. 2 back, he put up 105 Beyer speed figure. Last time, the Beyer speed figure went down by 7 and he still won. That means, guess what? I think the Beyer's going to go above 105, which is the Beyer speed figure for this race. And I think that horse being trained by Todd Pletcher out of Curlin, I think we haven't seen the best of him yet. I got a feeling this horse, and again, at 8-1, number two, we got the number 1 and number 3 prime power. Number 1 prime power, of course, is Baeza. But I also went with a couple other horses that I thought a little bit about. Know What's New kind of intrigues me a little bit. Like you mentioned, I think he could be, if he gets a clean break, gets out ahead of some horses. The 2 races he ran, 3 and 4 back, have a lot of value here. They're a little cheaper than this. He broke his maiden and 4 back impressively, then won again in a 125,000 allowance race. I know this is a grade 2 race, but I think if that horse shows some signs of improvement, you're going to get another price there. Skippy Longstocking, again, I don't need to really say anything about that horse. Everybody knows about that horse. Corporate Power, Jose Ortiz is just running lights out down there in Churchill Downs, wherever he goes. Steve Asmussen is obviously also doing very well. It's the first time Jose Ortiz has got on that horse, so I kind of like it. So, John, and then Wadey, I went 2, 3, 6, 7, 8.
Wadey, what do you got for this race?
All right, so I felt like I had to take a stand somewhere, and I know everybody's taking a stand in the 10th race with the 6th. You could have gone that way. I almost went that way, but I wanted to open up there and hope to be contrarian for the day. So I took a stand here with Baeza. Kind of. I'm similar to you, Fred. I like 2 and the 3 here. Both of them. I was in between both of them. Grande's done nothing wrong since he's become a 4-year-old, even after that long layoff. I mean, you can't fault anything he's done since then. And XY Prime ended up coming back and winning a decent race after that, so that doesn't hurt him. But I just took a stand there and said if I get lucky in the first race, and also like I'm different. You know what? I'm gonna post here. I'm gonna when I go to, when it comes time to put that ticket in, I'm gonna look. That's the beauty of singling in the first leg. You have all the information and everything you need going into that race. You can find out what the will pays are. You can see what the horse looks like. You can see the board. You can see everything. If you single in the 3rd, 4th, 2nd, any other leg, I mean, 2nd leg, you have the probables to go off. But if you single any other time going further, you don't know. You don't know where the CAWs are. You don't know where the money is. You could be going into a single. Like in the 11th race, I like the 9. You could be singling that horse who's 9-2. That horse could easily go off at 4-5. And you don't know what you're getting yourself into. You think you're being sneaky singling a 9-2. So I'm taking a shot off the bat. I'm singling Baeza. I was 4 deep, so I could have easily singled the 6 in the next leg and gone 4 deep here, or singled the 2 here and gone 4 deep in the next race, or 3 deep, which I did. I'm trying to beat the 6 in the next leg, so I'm singling Baeza here. I was with you on the 3, Japan Street. You don't know what you're gonna get. I mean, if that horse runs back to his race at the at Gulfstream he can win, but his last race was unimpressive. Even the race he won wasn't impressive. Skippy Longstocking, he's due for a bounce. I mean, come on, can he keep just winning? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins. I'm just hoping he bounces. So I'm taking a stab here. I'm singling early. I feel like if I get my single in,
Sure.
I'm looking good the rest of the way because I'm deep everywhere else. If everyone else is single in the next race and I'm three deep there, a lot of people singing in the 11th race, I'm three deep there. So if I can get through the single in the first leg, I'm looking good. If not, there's always a pick four. John?
Yeah, this is
Gotcha.
definitely one that, if you do take a stand here, it's probably going to be with Baeza off the 6-month layoff. Just don't, trust him that much. He is, one of the, the classiest one in the field. And I, like you said, Wadey, I had to go, 4 deep here and then single the next race. I couldn't go 4. I know on our tickets, we're probably, our bigger group tickets, we're probably going to, go 4x4 to start it. But on this budget ticket, trying to figure out a ticket structure,
Sure.
I had to take a stand somewhere. And I just, thought enough of the 8's going to be my top horse here. Corporate Power, Ortiz, Steve Asmussen. I'm just hoping it wasn't the Lasix, the last 2 that really helped him. Because you look at his races, the 4 races before that without Lasix, 2 losses, not the greatest, but, he might have, grew up as a, 5-year-old here and as an older horse. Maybe he's coming on his own, coming off the pace a little bit. He should be coming with Baeza because I see on the front end, the 3, the 6, East Avenue, the only way he knows is to go on the front end. That's when he's most effective. Skippy's always forwardly placed. Tap to Pan Street, could be up there. Maybe the 2 closers, the 8 and the 2 might be coming. I tried to knock off Grande off the ticket. He'd be my last knockoff, but man, I just kept coming back and I think I got to include him. 4 out of 5 lifetime. Only lost, the Wood Memorial. Skippy, like you said, he's probably due for a bounce. I mean, he's never won 3 in a row in his entire life. So you're asking him a lot to go from the Pacific, the grade 1, the Pegasus World Cup to the Essex. And now this one here, probably, asking a little bit too much of him too quick for this 7-year-old. So the 2 and the 8 would be my top 2 if I had to. But I just want to make sure I get out of this. And going into the next race, I did take the chicken way out, which you're right, Wadey. Everybody is going to single that horse in the late sequence. If you can single this one and get by and then beat that 6, the ticket's going to compound 5 to 8 times as much will pay because of that. Baeza is not everybody's single. So everybody singles the next race. And moving on to the next race, I'll start it out. I
got a better shot than the Hawks do tonight.
What's the score now? I'm looking here.
77-27, not even halftime.
Okay. They're down
What are
50.
we doing? Yeah.
All right. They still got time in the second quarter. If they can cut it to 42 by half, you never know.
50-point deficit in the playoff game in the first half.
They got
All right,
27 points with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter.
I mean, that's a first quarter score for most teams.
All right. This one here, I mean, is this horse going to be ready first off the bench? He was the forgotten horse in the Breeders' Cup, the last race of the day, 7-2 morning line, went off 9-1, got a perfect trip and ran down She Feels Pretty, who probably was the best in that race for the trip that she had and all the work she did. But, this horse is classy as they come. You see all those wins, group 1s over there. By far, there's no grade 1 horses in this race right now. Usually this race comes up a little bit better. So, on paper, on figs, on class, should blow the field away. But first time back, I mean, I guess Chad's going to have it, ready. The other horses I would consider, the 5, the 3 possibly. But, I heard that, Chad was talking about this one, maybe moving it to the the dog, to the dirt course and getting off the turf. So, yeah, you guys go. I'm going to mute.
I went a little I agree with what you said, John, about the 6 horse. I mean, his number 1 prime flower plus 16 points, plus 16, which is unheard of. Not unheard of, but that's just a class horse. You're right. I think I'm not going to say against the 6. I included him defensively, if you want to say that, but I included a couple other horses, which I don't think about. I like the 3 Whiskey Decision. Third off the layoff, 6 workouts he's had. His buyer speed figures fit here nicely. I think, you got Irad Ortiz, who's riding again, his whole career lights out. But lately he's been making some moves. He knows when to make a move. And it's his first time on the horse. And I kind of like that when they put Irad on the horse for the first time. And like you said, Chad Brown was thinking about moving his horse to the dirt. Let's see what happens after this pick. So I went 3 deep here, 3, 4, and 6, John. Stylish Sue, I don't just taking a flyer on that horse. I mean, who knows? I know he's only got a 9% chance according to Equine Edge, which we both look at, John and I look at. Got the race pace. I mean, it's a shot. I mean, if you're going to get paid, I guess you're going to have to take a shot. And I took a shot, and maybe I'll get beat. Or if the 6 wins, maybe I'm going to be stuck with a low price because I don't see that horse being anything less than 4 to 5. Wadey, what do you think, Wadey? How do you feel about that horse? How do you feel about that big horse?
Okay, if the horse runs to her utmost ability, she should win. But there's like 3 or 4 different things going against her. I never say Chad Brown as a first-time trainer going against her, but it's a totally different trainer than she's had before. She hasn't run since November. She's never been on the Churchill turf, and I think she's only won once at this distance. Once at this distance. I mean, but a 105 buyer. She feels pretty, but I don't think She Feels Pretty was at her best at that day. I mean, yeah, maybe she was, but she's gonna get singled. All I'm trying to do is beat her. I went 3 deep. I went 6-5-3. I'm with John. I kind of like the 5 as a sneaky horse in this race. I mean, that's another. As soon as she went to the Chad Brown barn, totally different animal. Yeah, it's only been 1 race, but you get a 95 buyer in an optional claiming race, and you didn't even get a 95 buyer in any other race since then. You ran second in a grade 1, second in a grade 2. You won an allowance, one other than nothing even remotely close. And that horse had a shot. And then I added the 3 as well, because you don't want to. I just went all 3 Chads. I think Chad wins this race. I just hope it's not with the 6, but it's the most likely winner.
Yeah, the 5's coming off 246-day layoff. So since the Saratoga meet, in the Chad Brown barn, been working out good. 6 is going to be very tough, but like Wadey said, it's everybody's single, so it's going to really kill the price of the pick 5. It turns it into almost like a free square pick 4, but you beat it. It's 6 to 8 times multiplier, so worth a shot there if you could get out with the Baeza in the first leg. So
if Chad Brown has a bad day tomorrow, then everybody, I mean, they're going to be balloons. He's going to be singled in most of these, this race, maybe the next race.
Yep. All right. Let me see. My video is not really sharp here. All right. Moving on to the 11th race now. Let's see. We have the La Troyenne. This race, I think, it came up a little bit light for grade 1 La Troyenne, like it's had in the past. I thought this was always a little better field, but it is a competitive field amongst itself here. It's just not that star quality, star power field like we've seen in the past. So this race, it all depends on the 5 horse. Shred the Gnar. If he breaks good, gets clear, they could be all chasing the 4, trying to run her down, and you don't know. But the last race, does she just not like the 2 turns? Is that the problem? Or she did break bad, checked when she was trying to make a move back into it, and then he just wrapped her up in the lane when she couldn't win the race, save her for, another day. So I would use the 5 only defensively. It's not my pick. I'm going to lean on number 9, Fully Subscribed. I think this one here is going to be Chad's big 4-year-old mare that you're going to probably see down the road in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. This one, if it could go forward, I know Chad's been pointing for this spot since that December race when she reeled off, 2 in a row, convincing wins at Aqueduct. Sharp work pattern coming in for Chad. So I would lean on the 9. I'd almost like be able to single the 9, but like I said, there's not much speed in here, and if the 5 gets free, I don't want to be holding all my tickets watching the 5 have a 4-length lead turning for home.
Yeah. Bad feeling.
Wadey?
Oh, wait, you go next, Wadey.
Yeah, this was another race. I was in between singling this 6 and not. But I'm just trying to get a payoff. Like you said, the 5, if you look at the last race, all 3 first, second, and third horses came back to win. Got bumped, it says 3 times early and steadied at the quarter pole. And you're not winning a race like that. You're just not. Not with Mario Gutierrez. I mean, nothing against him, but you're just not winning that race. The 9, I'm sorry, we're on the 11th race. The 9 is the horse that I almost singled. I apologize about the 6. I wasn't even talking about the 6. We're thinking of the 5. The 5 and I almost singled the 9 here. I went 5, 1, 9. Just like you said, I like the 9. He could be lone speed. Maybe the 3 tries to give her a hard time up there up front. I mean, she only knows how to win on the front end. Every time she's not on the front end, she's not. So maybe she gets a little trouble. I also use the 1, maybe pick up some pieces. Irad and Brad Cox are pretty good together. That last race wasn't too bad. But I think the 9's going to be bet a lot. I mean, I don't like the morning line. I think it's going to be a lot lower than 7-2.
6 to 5, I'm guessing. I'm
yeah,
guessing 6 to 5.
6-5, 7-5. You'd be lucky to get anything worse than that. That's also going to be a lot of people single. I mean, she's done nothing really wrong. And look, when people say they're layoff, Chad Brown gives a lot of horses off in the wintertime. So I don't really worry about that. So I went 3 deep there, but I could have easily singled the 9. My top pick would be the 9 also.
And the 1 would be my third pick. I went 2 deep here, but the 1 would be my next one. One quick comment. I knew Will Walden when he lost the horse and he moved it over to Brad Cox. He just loved this horse, developing right where she was getting ready, for a big season. So if she could turn the corner, she'd be the up and comer. And she should drift up against those 2, against the 9-2. Maybe you'll get 5-1 on her, but it's between the 9 almost single, the 5 maybe lone speed, and the 1 picking up pieces. Freddie, what do you say?
I got the same 3 horses, John and Wadey. I got the 1, 5, 9. I know this is a shock, but I think the 5, as you already mentioned, could wire this field if he gets out clean. I drew a line. I lined out that last race because of the bumping, because of everything. Put a line through that race and then look at this horse. This horse, John, is getting better every time. The workouts are solid for the return. I think he took some time off. Well-needed. Brian Lynch gave him some time off. The horse is regenerated. He's won twice at Churchill Downs, just like a couple other horses. But I like the 1 the best. I think the 1 is ready, is sitting on a big race. The workouts for that horse's return are very strong. We're talking about third off a layoff. You're putting Irad back, or Irad on the horse again for the first time. There's a couple races where Irad is on the horse for the first time. It's an angle. I don't see that percentage written up anywhere. But Irad getting on the horse for the first time, that's got to add something to, for me. It does add a reason to include that horse on the ticket. Again, the 9, he said he's going to do 4 to 5 or 3 or 8 to 5, whatever he said. Fully subscribed. Pratt, Wadey, you're right. Chad Brown gives his horses time off. There's no question. He's not worried about that at all. The horse put in a serious workout at Churchill Downs last time. April 24th, put in a 42nd 2 workout, has been working out real good. So I would hope, again, just some value. If we can beat that horse, fine. If not, he's been used defensively for the 3rd time, because we'll see when we get to the last race where my putting all my eggs in 1 basket. But that's it, John, for that.
If I could add one thing, if there's a horse I could add as the 4th horse, it would be the 7th. The 7th. I would just keep an eye on that horse. Playing a lot less than 3. If he's around 3-1, be worried about if he's played in the will plays. But yeah, I wouldn't. The horse had a little bit of a layoff, came back from a layoff, and just keeps getting better and better. And 95 buyer last time is nothing to sneeze at. I just
I had all 4 on there. The 7 was I had 4 on there, but to make the ticket work, I did cross off the 7. That was my last toss to make it reasonable.
To make it, yeah. feel like
So you
the
guys, a question,
on-field.
because you guys maybe know a little more about this than I do. What does it mean when it says run in divisions? What does that mean?
There was
For the
too big of a
Seminoles.
field that there was too many horses subscribed for the race. They split it into two different races, the same exact condition, and they split it into two 10-horse fields. Maybe 20 horses entered the race.
Really? Okay.
So
Just
Yeah.
never saw it before. I didn't know what it meant. Thank you. Okay. Let's move on to the next race, John.
race 12, the Edgewood, a mile and 16th on the grass. This is for 3-year-old fillies. Wow. What a race this is. I mean, God, if anybody could take a stand here,
Good luck.
I do like 2 horses, but I found so many cases for so many others at prices that I had to structure a ticket around trying to catch that $50 winner in this race. Out of all the races, this is the one I could see paying a 25-1 shot on this day. My main 2, Imagination the Lady, the 3 for Brendan Walsh, should be basically that last race should have won the last race. Storm's Wake.
The one.
The one got the perfect trip, the outside, and he just rallied over the top of the 3 when the 3 made the winning move. And the other one that I do like is the 9-horse Dodona. This horse here, really exploded last time when it looked like, maybe it was going to be beaten. Just exploded with a turn of foot. And I think there's a lot underneath the engine here. And, 3rd time back this year as a 3-year-old. They paid $1 million for it. The only problem is Safi Joseph on turf routes, 7 for 129. And we talk about that all the time. So do like the horse, but I don't like that stat. Basically, others I could throw in that Laurel Lee could jump out there and be the speed of the speed. She's a half to Some Like It Hot Brown. Very good stakes performer there. Was pointed towards the Oaks the whole time. And then, last time caught a very, speed bias, easy trip. So people are going to discount at that. The race 2 back, brutal trip she had there. Then you got, Just Aloof, Brad Cox's Tam Tam has a shot. Lion Lake, who was in that photo with a couple of these last time. Time to Dream, who was 4-1 in the Breeders' Cup. Couple outside horses that I'm going to throw in my ticket, the 13 and the 14. The 14 moved. My comment here I'm writing notes here. Made move during the fastest part of the race. Made a move into the turn during the fastest quarter, and then was right there and just flattened out. So with a little better time trip and a better move from the 14, you're going to get every bit of that 20-1. And if the race really falls apart, like it could be a blanket finish, 6 of them across the track, take a shot that, maybe the 14 is one of them. So I see it wide open. The 3 and the 9 are my top 2.
Well, I my ticket is 3, 5, 8, 9, 11. You already mentioned a couple of the horses we talked about, but I wrote in very big letters next to this. What's that say there? Spread.
A spread. Usually it's speed. When I see an S word for you, it's speed.
This time it says spread. I mean, this race is such a very even race. You could already made a case for how many horses. Absolutely, definitely. Brendan Walsh has 3 horses in the race. The 3, he also has the. Let's see, who's he got? The 3. I think he's got 3 horses, if I'm not mistaken.
The 3, the 8.
The 3, the 8, and one of
And
the
then
outside
13.
horses.
13.
And 13. I mean, you can make like I said, John, you can make a case for a lot of horses because 4 of the horses, which is at Brisnet Angle, have the highest last rate speed rating. Usually there's only 1. They're all tied. The 1, the 3, the 4, and the 8 have the highest last rate speed rating according to Brisnet. Number 1 Prime Power via Brisnet is the number. Well, the 11 is like 1 and 2 are very close, meaning 1 and 2 Prime Power. The number 11 and the number who's the other horse that's the number 1 Prime Power? There you go. The five, number one prime power. So
You just
look at
mentioned
those
6
horses.
horses on those stats. 6 alone on different stats.
Say that again.
Yeah.
You mentioned 6 horses on different stats. That means how wide open this is. All the Brisbane.
That's what I'm saying. So just make a case for your own horse. I went deep here, 3, 5, 8, 9, 11. You mentioned a lot of the horses already, so no need to beat a. Why do I want to say beat a dead horse? That's bad to say that. No need to say be redundant. To repeat, John. No need to repeat.
All right, Wadey. Please give us some clarity on this race.
Yeah, no, I got nothing. I was 6 deep in my ticket. I went 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, 11, and now looking at the 13, I want to add that horse too. But I'll tell you
10
what
deep,
though,
and I'm not convinced I have the winner.
I'm gonna tell you what you have to 100% do before making judgment on this race is you have to go watch that Appalachian race, the Appalachian race in Keeneland on the 4th of April. I think four, maybe 5 of the horses in this race, a lot of the key contenders ran in that race. And I watched the replay like 3 times. And the sixth, who's the one in this race, the sixth, like literally was just sitting there. And then, he had that good turn of foot at the wire, just came right by. The 10, who was the 3, the 10, who was Imagine the 3. I thought that horse ran the best race, everything. I just feel like it set up so perfectly for the 1 in this race, who's Storm's Wake. He was a 6 in that. I'm sorry, I'm confusing with the numbers because I'm watching the replay in my head. The 3 ran pretty good, pretty much the best race that day. The 6 just had perfect trip. Joe Rosario just came and just got him at the wire. The 8 ran well too. He's the 8 also in this race.
Yep.
You got to go
8
back
ran
and
good.
watch that replay. You got to go watch the replay of that race. Yeah. And if you watch the 6, I watched the 6. God, I keep saying this. It's the 1 in this race. If you watch the 1 in that race, he was fighting with the jockey the entire time in the backstretch. I mean, his head was up and down, everything. I'm like, okay, he either wants to really run or he's just gonna be rank and not hit the board. And he took off.
Well, the only
horse
thing that
took
can
off.
hurt that horse tomorrow
She
is
took
the
off.
jockey.
I'm sorry. I said he. Yeah. She took off. I'm sorry. I said he.
Rosario cannot be riding any worse right now. So that's the only thing that can preclude that horse from running a big one.
Yeah, he's having a rough time.
But yeah, I saw it like both of you. I mean, it's a wide open race. Anybody who wins this race, I'm not gonna be like, oh, how did she win, or how did she win?
You're gonna say, why did I have it? Unless you had on your ticket, you're gonna say, why didn't I have it? Because we talked about just about every horse.
Yeah, I always think when you need more than half of the horses on your ticket, you should go all.
I got 10 of them, and I'm not convinced.
Yeah, you don't have an opinion, So I try to cut it down to 6 or 7. I'm obviously going to be spending a lot more money than I am on this ticket on Friday, but for
well,
six,
listen.
I cut it
Also,
down.
John got the early scratches. There could be some other scratches tomorrow too that might allow different scenarios. We always talk about that on our Saturday show, John. The scratches can make a big difference. Early scratches, we've already talked about them. There could be some late scratches tomorrow. Hope not, because you like to see these races stay like they were drawn up and like we have analyzed them. But that can happen.
Yeah.
All right.
Most
I guess we beat that one down. So and we really didn't give that much good information other than use as many as you can.
And like you said, if you have a stand there and you're right with who, if you can pick the winner there, and you can just literally open up everywhere. I mean, I don't see a favorite less than 3-1 in that race. So I'll be surprised at the end when the horse is like 8-1 in the back of the backstretch. He wins and he goes off at 3-1. I won't be surprised.
That's probably gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
13th race, the Will Pay leg.
The big one.
The big one, the Kentucky Oaks, run under the lights for the first time, prime time, 8:40 p.m. And then everybody's got to be right back there at 11 o'clock the next morning. So what
real smart.
Crazy.
Real smart.
Gigantic field.
And this is, what is it now? All the also eligibles drew in. For those of you that don't know, the 6, the 8, and the 12 all scratched today. The 3 also eligibles, Lovely Gray, Nikon, and Resist, all got in. So, still, 3 of the speed horses scratched though. So that's going to help not be that fast of a pace. When all 3 of those were in there, I thought it was really going to be a fast pace and looking for somebody to come off. So without those 3 in there, not as quick of a scenario, but you got 10 out of the 14 legitimate horses. It's top to bottom the most competitive quality Kentucky Oaks I remember in a long time. In my lifetime, it's one of the best. You don't have your
I agree.
standout Rachel Alexander. You don't have, good cheer last time. So this is wonderful, and you just got to pick a horse, take a stand with a few, and hope you're right. And Fred has got his whole ticket relying on one horse.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. Well,
I don't even have on my
I took
ticket.
a-
So
well,
that's how wide open it is.
I took a stand before Bella Ballerina scratched because I was concerned about Bella Ballerina running alongside with Explorer. But Explorer's #1 prime power has the highest pace figure right now, U.S. time form pace figure, based on who scratched out. And you already said there's not going to be a lot of speed. I don't think there is, and there's not real. I don't know in terms of numbers. When I look at that, I know maybe I talk about it too much, but I don't see it. There's no real setup for a horse to come and close. I think if Explorer with Flavian Pratt gets out strong, again, trained by Bob Baffert, we don't need to talk about him, but the horse has been never worse than second place. He's been 4th, 4 times he's won, 3 times he's come in second. The last workout he had was a blazing workout. I think this horse is sitting on a big race. If he gets out to a lonely lead, I think Flavian Pratt will ride him enough he needs to ride him to keep him going. The only horse that might go with him, although he's a cheap horse, I think he's a little bit because his buyer speed for very good, is Dazzling Dame, the 7 horse. Might give him a little bit because Saez is going to gun that horse out. But I just don't think that horse has the same class as the #1. So, yeah, I took my stand on that horse. And then we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, if I get to that point in the race, I see a will pay on one horse, so only one horse alone. So we'll see how it goes.
That'll be good enough. If you get through this sequence and you have a will pay and you could beat any of those other favorites, along the way, it's going to be worth it. So, Wadey, go ahead. Take us.
Oh, real quick, both of you guys, how many horses in this race have a 90 buyer or higher without looking?
None.
One.
None or one.
Well, 3.
3.
3?
I would have thought a higher number than 90. I mean, only 3 horses have a 90 buyer. So I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have Explorer on my ticket like John kind of. I wouldn't be shocked. You get Pratt going to Baffert, and Baffert got rid of his other scratches other horse, but I don't know. I just feel like maybe she peaked, but maybe not. I don't know. I'd be a fool if she. I mean, I'd be a fool if she won. I wouldn't be surprised. Zany, I thought Zany was the biggest benefactor of the scratches. But
Yeah.
maybe
Okay.
I'm wrong. I thought she was going to go to the lead. I don't have her as my top pick. I went. I have no opinion on this race either. I went 60. Or initially, the Chad Brown filly was the horse I liked the best. Always a runner. Just basically on what he has to say about her. I'm just going off. And then she opened up the favorite in the first pool of the Oaks pool. She opened up the favorite. I went 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11. If I had to add another horse, it would be the one. Percy's Bar, if she runs the way she is, she could just beat these fillies just based on her last race. I thought that was pretty impressive race. Prom Queen's getting a lot of buzz. She hasn't done anything wrong really in the last 2 races. If I had to put a win bet, it would be on the 9, but I have not that much faith in this race. I went 6 deep. I feel like a lot of these fillies can win, but I went 2, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11. I wouldn't be shocked if anyone won. I mean, the 1 could win that I don't have. Also, I'm hearing Cassie has big hope. He loves the 4. It would be 4. 4 4-9 for me are
That
the two I would like.
I think that
Um,
was my my horse coming into last week. That was going to be my pick right there, the 4 and the 11. Then I'm watching him work out at the track. The more I watch the videos, listening to people talking all, now I basically switched. My top two are the 9 and the 10. That always a runner. When she won the Gazelle, you know, the way she did, a little bit green, straightening away, got past, and then she could run all day. And Chad said she was about 70% fit going into that race.
I heard that. Heard that.
Now,
Scary. Scary.
being lights out, and the odds show because she's 6-1, you know, right now in the current betting. So that's going to be one of my topics. But if Prom Queen stays around double digits, absolutely nothing wrong. The buyers keep progressing. She didn't take that, you know, big leap forward and maybe plateaued. She's just getting better and better. And I watched her replays, and you know, she was wide the whole way. She ran so far, much further than, you know, the last, you know, race than the others. So the 10 and the 9 are my top two. The 11, like Wadey said, you know, if Percy's Bar, when she, you know, in the Breeders' Cup, bounced off the rail and still was closing in that race, she gets a cleaner trip. Counting Stars, I know how, like, high Cassie is on her, was my, you know, pick coming in. I had to cross off Zany off the ticket, and meaning the 2 and the 5. Explorer would not shock me. And, you know, I guess Explorer, I mean, you know, a couple times we singled her and needed her, and, you know, against those small, short fields at, you know, 1 to 2, 2 to 5, and she couldn't get it done. So, you know, maybe a little disappointment, you know, holding a grudge against her. The 7, Dazzling Dame, would be great to see. Brittany Russell. I was there that day when in the Bushanda when she won by 11. And I made a huge contest wager on her at 2 to 1, and she wasn't the favorite. So, you know, I root for her. I like to see Brittany Russell. That's the problem. That 7's going to get out there leading. The 1 is going to, you know, get out there if they push each other. But the rest of them could be, you know, just sitting close enough. Nobody's like deep closers. So you're going to have 6, 7 of them in that second flight between 3rd and 7th place. And then who just likes the mile and an eighth? Whereas, who was it? Always a Runner is the only one to win at a mile and an eighth. The other ones haven't even been a mile and an eighth. This one has won a mile and an eighth. So, you know, lightly raced.
Zany won at a mile and an eighth.
Zany won? Oh, yeah. But Zany, when I look at her numbers, though, she looked like a, you know, a star in a 2-year-old, 79 buyer, 89 buyer. Looked like, you know, coming out. She just never improved as a 3-year-old. These other ones are improving. So she's just run 82, 83 buyers. So maybe she peaked as a, you know, a 2-year-old, because she is big. I mean, she's a big, you know, and she just can't get her head straight turning for home. You know, when she runs down a lane, she's green. She doesn't switch leads.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
If she figures it out, she's probably the best of the crop. But at them low odds, a favorite. I'm not going to say she's going to figure it out in the Kentucky Oaks. So I'm going to take a shot with the 9 and the 10 and sprinkle in 11, 4, a little 2, and 5 and 1. But 10 and 9 will be my top 2. And don't sleep on the 15 that drew in Lovely Gray. I don't like Lovely Gray as much now because of the scratches. If it was a fast pace, this was going to be a good underhorse, a tri-key. And you know it's going to get hammered at the windows because of Dave Portnoy and Bart Stoles. So it's going to be so undervalued. But maybe underneath in a try, it would pay like a 25 to 1 shot. On the win end, don't even consider those win odds. Like, oh my God, they're all betting Lovely Gray. It's one person and his contingent. So, but the horse the last 2 times ran into murderously slow paces and still closed like a train in those slow paces. If it heats up on the front end, that horse can come flying, hit the try. Wouldn't be totally shocked if she ran right by and won, but at the low odds on the win end, I'm going to hope she just, you know, sucks up for like a 2nd or a 3rd.
Well, I don't know. She's had one run on the dirt and it was horrible. I think it's more of a turf horse, but we'll see.
And he's just entering because he wants the spotlight on it. So he should have stayed in the last race and been one of the 14 that could win that race.
Of course.
All right. So there you have it. An exhausting pick 5 sequence. Let's see. Anything else early in the card? Anybody see anything else in the early races in the first 8 races before we wrap it up here tonight.
Yeah, I'll say one thing. The first 5 races, good luck. I
Yeah.
tried to
We
handicap
talked
the
last
first
night.
5
Yeah.
races last night, and I was just like, okay, there's gonna be something that's gonna. I didn't see anything that was just like, yes. I mean, I would be shocked. I mean, it would be a great day, a great way to start off your Derby day to hit that early pick five. I see it
Yeah.
paying no less than $5,000. Then again, it's going to end up paying $50. The way I'm thinking, like, oh, single, 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 single. It's a lot of maiden special weight races, a lot of
Yeah.
information,
Well,
a lot of stuff
chaos.
will be told by the board, but the board will tell you everything. Unfortunately, you have to put in your pick five at the first race. Can't see the next 4 races. But tread lightly. If there was a live bet, I would be live betting the pick five as it went. But
Okay.
Race
it's
that I
tough.
saw, the 6th race, horse that's 4-1 right now. Number 5, Paige Turner, with Cherie DeVos' horse, ran with On Time Girl. Now we're cutting. No, actually, not cutting back. Yeah, One Time Girl is cutting back out of that to the 8 bells because she stepped up and ran longer. Now this one here, I think has a lot of talent. We'll take a step forward. Hopefully, get the 4-1, but on a ticket, I would go very short in this leg and maybe lean on her, the 5
Sure.
Paige Turner in race 6.
That's
And
my
then
top pick in that race too.
what do you
Good.
guys think about the 8 bells, the 8th race, 7 furlongs? Really, and there's that On Time Girl, the 9 horse in that race. She stretched out, and now she's turning back to the 7 furlongs. So, but I watched the replays at that Goodall, and that last race, was pretty professional. Pretty darn good. River Wind didn't get the best of trips in that race, and that was the main competition. But there was no way River Wind was beating that horse anyway. So I would, lean on the 8 Goodall a little bit there. And the 2 horse in that race, the 8 bells, French Friction, turning back. Definitely those first 2 sprint races were lights out. And then they tried, to stretch her out in the Ashland against Percy's Bar, Zany. That just didn't work out. She's more of a sprinter. So this is a perfect turn back. And that horse, if it drifts up, I would play the 8 and the 2 in that race, lean on them. But you can throw in a few others. Anybody have any opinions on the 8 bells?
I mean, that was a very impressive race for Goodall, and the
Your
fact that he
neighbor.
takes his son off. Go ahead, go ahead. Right.
Sorry. No, love your neighbor. I like that horse for very first time it ran. Followed it. I think it could be sitting on a good race again. Luis Saez on a horse that's got some speed. Another race, I wouldn't bet on this, but I'm just interested in watching it because we watched it at the Breeders' Cup and it was very interesting. John, She's So Spicy is in 7th race, 9-5 morning line. Probably going to get bet down beyond that. 5.5 furlong, a turf sprint. Just interested in seeing the race. I'm not necessarily interested in betting it, but I would like to see She's So Spicy facing Hull and Ice. I think that's a pretty good race to watch.
I think Hall and Ice will probably go in the other race. I think Hall and Ice, I don't know if she's going to go in the turf. She's a better dirt horse.
Okay.
I don't think she stacks up with She's So Spicy on the grass. She's more of a dirt horse.
Yeah.
The one that I
Other
talked
than
about
that-
yesterday on the podcast was the Queen Maxima, which I talked to Wadey. I called him and told him, what I heard, that, why she ran 3rd last time, which is the most impressive 3rd place finish now that I know the story. Out in
It's a
California,
crazy story.
it's just ridiculous. California now with the down the hill turf races, they make the horses after the post parade go onto the turf course and then turn them around and then walk them or jog them back over the dirt to simulate what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes. That it's going to be okay for them to come from the grass, go across the dirt, and then finish on the turf. So they have to do that now. So
Wow.
the jockey who was on Queen Maxima gets all the way to the top of the hill, and then the stewards and the gate people says, "You never walked her across the dirt." So
Oh
right
my
before the race,
God.
she's got to run down the hill, walk across the dirt, come back, and then jog up the hill again, go right into the gate, and she finishes, 3rd by, a length or 2. So
Even after that.
even
Wow.
after that, and when he got Brian Hernandez, I think it was, got to the gate, and he's like, she was already shot out. And just to run that 3rd place finish, she loves the distance.
Well,
7
interesting.
out of
Okay.
9, likes
Well.
Churchill, defending champ. So, and the race you cross out, the mile race, you cross out the race against the boys. She's won like 7 in a row. So definitely give her a big look. And who was it? The 4 horse, 20-1, that won't hold up with, Pratt. But that one there has a little bit of a look if She's So Spicy comes back to the field. But She's So Spicy could run them off their feet again.
What you said about what happened over in the San Diego, I got a highlighter out, John. I got a highlighter out. Highlighted that horse because that's an unbelievable story. I didn't know about that, but that been interested in watching that race now.
Yep. Let's see. Tomorrow, our show, we're going to be on at 3:00, the happy hour show. So actually, it's a perfect time. We can quickly talk about any late scratches in the
Sure.
discard for Friday before the races start, because they don't start till after 5:30 at night. So our 3:00 happy hour is going to focus on the Kentucky Derby day, late pick 5, which some interesting races. We're going to have Gus Alonso from Spotlight Selections and Briz join us for his opinions. And then hopefully Wadey will be live at Tampa, and it'll be boots on the ground. Do us no good for boots on the ground at Tampa when we're looking at Churchill. But we just like to, hear his
I might have
opinions.
something for you at Tampa, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a live little Tampa look, and we can all, as we're doing the podcast, maybe jump on a bet at Tampa and root that one home. So, but if Wade can jump on, he will have hopefully definitely 3 of us, maybe 4 of us, talking about the late 5 leading up to the Kentucky Derby, and ultimately how we see the Kentucky Derby, which I think everybody sees it the same, that it is so wide open.
Yeah.
No clear cut favorite you can lean on like last year. It's a wonderful race. So.
Yep. Looking forward to it, John. Wadey, thanks for coming on. Always good to talk to you, my friend.
Looks like the weather's going to hold up for us tomorrow. So it looks like it's going to be cold. So I know a lot of people, horse bettors or whatever, but I grew up on body language. If you see any horse tomorrow that's in some kind of sweat, or it looks like it's overheating, chuck that horse. There should not be overheating. Tomorrow we're talking about in the 50s and 40s. Like, it's perfect horse weather. And if you're somehow looking like you're sweating or you're foaming or something, something's not going there. I mean, I look at that, when I'm betting, win place, that race, essentially, I look at that. But just keep an eye on that, because the weather's supposed to be nice and cold. Yep. All right, fellas.
All right, one more time, we're going to thank our sponsor, and we want to also remind everybody the Ultimate Oaks Derby handicapping package is still available. Grab it tonight, and
please grab it.
Research all weekend, Friday, Saturday. It's loaded with info. So $29.99. Visit briznet.com and get your handicapping package there. And with that, I think Fred, say our moniker, and we will sign off.
Well, like we always say, bet hard, bet smart, cheer hard. Fast horses. I hope the number 1 horse tomorrow is a fast horse, because fast horses can lead to serious fun. And in the end, we just let him run, not let
Correct
run.
Ticket structure leads to big fun. If you correctly can structure your ticket and lean where you got to lean, that's serious fun.
Now I got to change my whole closing statement, John.
Yes, ticket structure. So
I'll be up all night with that. I'll be up all night thinking of that, John.
It's underrated, but it's very important. Ticket structure is honestly the key. Like, you can have a lot of opinions, but you structure it the wrong way, you screw up.
No, John has talked about that, and I've learned, in all seriousness, I've learned a lot about structuring tickets from John. So we will see you all tomorrow at 3:00 on the happy hour. So good night to all. Good luck.
All right. Let him run.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Good luck. Let him run, guys.
All right.